What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another War Within video. Hope you're all doing very well. On the PTR, Enhancement Shaman, I want to look at the Totemic build. It has received a couple of nerfs now. On the PTR, I'm going to show you those in the notes, and then I'm going to show you some footage in a dungeon. I want to obviously talk about, you know, is the build doomed? Is it over? Should you not play Totemic in Season 2? Also, the tier set got completely changed. We're going to look at that as well, okay? A lot of stuff to cover today. Let's just dive right in. Yo, I really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe on the video. I got to get some coffee. Bye. First of all, on January 15th, you can see at the top of the notes here, January 15th, there were some nerfs that came through. Lava Lash damage went down. Doom Winds now scales with your mastery. Big up there. That's great. And then there was a bug causing Maelstrom weapon spenders to remove a stack of winning streak. Great. Then for Totemic, we had Tremor Totem damage down by 25%. Searing Volley down by 20%. And then they added this quality of life feature, which is actually really good. So when you put your totem down, it now gets a new icon where you can, every 6 seconds, you can move the totem. Really great quality of life. You don't have to end up taking Totemic Projection to move it around. You get a free Totemic Projection now. So it's actually nice. It's really good. I've used it a lot in the dungeons, so that's quite good. But basically nerf, and then a slight buff to Doom Winds here. Not a slight buff, a buff to Doom Winds for sure with our mastery. Now, that's the first set of nerfs. That was on January 15th, okay? Now, this week's patch has completely changed the tier set bonus. And then Forceful Winds got nerfed by 5%. So Wind Fury weapon damage down by a little bit. Imbuement Mastery reduced the chance for Wind Fury weapon to proc by 5%. I don't really think that's that big of a deal, but we'll see. I haven't noticed it that big, I don't think. And then Imbuement Mastery now also got nerfed in terms of the damage. So a lot of nerfs came through for Totemic Enhancement Shaman. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of nerfs there. We're gonna see how it feels, how it looks on the PTR here, and what the build ends up looking like. So I am running this build right now. I was experimenting with Elemental Spirits because Elemental Spirits now gives you extra physical damage on top of the elemental damage. It never used to do that, but in Season 2 it will. So you get 10% increased fire, frost, or lightning damage, and also 10% increased physical damage. But if you did not take Elemental Wolves, then you would just have the 15% increased damage on, or is it 20? I'm not sure, actually. We should switch this. I think it's only 15, but we'll check really quick. You'll just have a bonus to physical damage, right? Only, not to the elemental damage. So, yeah, it's only 15% on phys damage. So, to me, Elemental Spirits for this build seems like the absolute go-to because you've got fire damage with Lava Lash. You've got Sundering that does fire or physical damage. You have nature damage with like Crash Lightning, Chain Lightning. You have physical damage with Storm Strike and Wind Fury weapon. You've got all 3 elements with Primordial Storm. So it seems like a no-brainer that you would take Elemental Spirits here, okay? We'll just experiment with that. Here's the new tier set bonus, okay? Spells and abilities have a chance to activate your winning streak, which increases the damage of your Storm Strike, Lava Lash, and Doom Winds. So Doom Winds is now added into the 2-piece bonus, okay? Then the 4-piece bonus now says when you lose your winning streak, the winds will shift into Doom Winds for 4 seconds. When your Doom Winds deals damage, your next Crash Lightning deals between 24 and up to 120% more damage. This effect can be stored up to 10 stacks. And then additionally, Crash Lightning deals 50% more damage to your main target. So it's all about Crash Lightning now. Basically what happens is if you lose your winning streak, you'll get a little Doom Wind circle for 4 seconds. That will buff the damage of your next Crash Lightning. You will actually see on Crash Lightning itself, there will be a number going all the way up to 10. You can see what stacks you're actually at. So we're gonna show you this right now. I'm gonna showcase the build for you. And I'll show you the tier set bonus and all that jazz as well. So my TLDR on this whole thing, I'll just say right out of the gates, is that I believe that Totemic is absolutely fine, in my opinion. It feels really good to me. Primordial Storm feels really good. The triple Sundering feels really, really good. I don't know. Like I'm really enjoying this build. You can see my Crash Lightning there getting extra stacks. It does 3 extra stacks right now. So that's because I had a winning streak. Now there's no stacks showing on my Crash Lightning right now, but we'll get it back. It's okay. it has to do with when we lose that winning streak, right? But the rest of the build, to me, feels quite good. On the PTR right now, on these dummies, I am currently 662 item level, okay? And we're doing, I think on the previous one, I was actually sustaining like 6 million DPS, so it just kind of depends on the procs and stuff. But the bottom line is, I think it's really good. If you've enjoyed Totemic or you've been wanting to play Totemic and you're really, really scared that all the damage is now gone from Totemic, I really would not be worried about it. Okay, I promise you. Okay, here comes Doom Winds. We'll go Doom Winds. Watch my Crash Lightning. Crash Lightning is starting to build up stacks. So not only does my natural Doom Winds now build up stacks for my tier set bonus, the extra winning streak proc that I might end up getting also does it. Okay, so keep that in mind. We'll do this in a Primordial Storm. We'll do a big Crash Lightning. And we'll do Primordial Storm. There we go. So that's how the build kind of ends up looking on the dummies. We're sustaining 4 million on 5 targets. All this damage goes way up if you get more targets, right? Because Tremor Totem hits all targets. Crash Lightning is your uncapped AoE ability, like Sundering. You get multiple Sunderings as well. Primordial Storm hits all nearby enemies. I know a lot of this stuff is soft capped. I understand that. But the point is, the fact that the tier set bonus is now centered around Crash Lightning gives you a lot more AoE viability, in my experience. So you're gonna have a ton of AoE damage coming through, I would say. Here we go. We're gonna go Doom Winds into Crash Lightning. Got a big Crash Lightning setup. There's a big one right there. You're gonna see our damage is gonna be Crash Lightning, which is kind of wild. That's a new experience, I think, for a lot of people, but it's gonna be a lot of your damage here. Okay, we'll do one more Primordial Storm and that's it. We'll get off the dummies. I just wanted to give you a long little test there. Do this into this. Then we do Primordial Storm and that's the end of that. Okay, perfect. Oh man, I just want to keep, every time I have hot hands, I just want to keep hitting it. Okay, there we go. So here's what your damage looks like. Crash Lightning ends up being at the very top of the list. That's what you're gonna end up seeing a lot of in season 2 for Totemic Enhancement Shaman. Sundering way at the top of the list because we're getting the resets from our Molten Thunder, right? Surging Totem is still doing a decent amount of damage, even with the 25% nerf. Lava Lash Flame Tongue attack is really high, and that's because I've taken supportive imbuements, which increases the crit chance of Flame Tongue. So Flame Tongue ends up being a lot of your damage, actually. It's even more than Wind Fury now because they nerfed Wind Fury and the proc chance of Wind Fury, both from Forceful Winds and from supportive imbuements. They both lost a bit of Wind Fury proc chance. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. I think the reason they did that primarily is because the tier set is proccing free Doom Winds for you, which is going to be giving you more Wind Fury procs in general. But I have noticed a drop in the Wind Fury attack damage for sure. But there you go. Crash Lightning way at the top there. Our Primordial Storm ended up doing about 6% of our damage. So again, it's pretty good as well. It might be something that you could think about dropping, but I'm telling you, this just scales like into infinity really, really well. And I think your AoE damage is going to be really high because of the changes to Crash Lightning. Really cool. I'll just show you a quick clip from the dungeon that I was doing last night. This is only a +6 mother load. I want to stress this. Our item level is capped to 639. We are capped at 639. That's how far we're scaled. That's basically the equivalent of the item level that we have right now on the live servers in season 1. So in a real +6 dungeon in season 2, you'd probably be like 645 or something. So our damage would be even higher here. Here's a big Primordial Storm, big Crash Lightning there. We're into our Sundering. We're taking a lot of damage, but you can see our damage just starts to scale really, really well on AoE. I think on single target, our damage is okay as well. It's not the best. We ended up pulling way too much here. But I think actually your Sunderings make up so much extra, or your Lava Lashes, sorry, end up making up so much damage now, especially on single target, because a couple of patches ago on the PTR, Blizzard buffed all your melee abilities. So, for example, your Storm Strike, the initial damage from Crash Lightning, your Lava Lash, and your Ice Strike all basically do double damage in season 2 compared to what they do right now in season 1. So to me, not only is that helping your single target damage in a big way, it just feels better. It just feels really, really good to play Enhancement Shaman and to not have Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt be like my top damage. That is absolutely amazing to me. It makes Enhancement Shaman really feel like the melee spec it is supposed to feel like, I think, moving into season 2. So there is a lot of damage here in the Totemic build. I am not worried about it at all. In fact, this is a top contender for me, even after the nerfs. It is a top contender for me for Mythic Plus as my DPS main going into season 2. If you guys have followed the channel, you know that I'm always going to pick a healing main and a DPS main. I am very seriously considering Enhancement Shaman because of how fun Totemic is to play. That's the number one thing. I have an absolute blast every time I'm playing it. It's so easy to play. Like your flame shocks, you don't have to worry about them anymore. You just press one flame shock after putting your totem down, and it does all kinds of damage. You get multiple sundering procs back to back to back, which just feels really fun, and you get tons of Wind Fury procs. I just really enjoy the spec a lot. And it's something that even after the nerfs, I am very seriously considering playing, okay? So that's it. I know there was a little bit messy there. I tried, there probably were potentially better clips here, but the reality is that a lot of the PTR stuff is really messy right now. It's very frustrating. I'll show you a little bit of boss damage here. With Bloodlust, again, remember, we are only 639 item level, so we're no better than we are in the live server right now. But yeah, I just enjoy... Like, Lava Lash is just a fun button to press. I kind of miss it, and I miss it actually doing damage. And you can see we had some Lava Lashes there for like 1 million, 1.4 million, 1.2 million. Like, some of the Lava Lashes are hitting so freaking hard. It's crazy. Now, we had to respect the mechanics here on the boss fight, otherwise everybody was going to die. And then I'm telling the guy to move. I'll show you the totem going down here. Hopefully I put it down. I guess I put it down later. I was focusing way too hard on those footballs. As Vesperal would say, the footballs, not the soccer balls. Yeah, bottom line, it's very fun to play. The damage is actually going to be just fine. I know we're getting crushed by this BM Hunter right now, but that's mostly just because I was doing mechanics. And I'm going to try and get some more footage of this going into the PTR later, but again, it's just been kind of hard to get that footage. But that's it for me. Thank you guys so much again for watching. Let me know what you think about Totemic Enhancement Shaman in the comments down below. Again, if you're asking me what I think about it, I'm not worried at all. I think it's going to be absolutely fine, and it's really fun. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.